But this episode, this will be the good one.
This episode is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. Today's patron of the day is Joshua Schmidt. Patrons get the show always ad-free and access to the extended episode with bonus content. If you don't want to miss all of that, go to patreon.com/theline. Patreon.com/calltheline. I said the line. I've done that one other time before, and you were like, huh? It's not. It's patreon.com/calltheline. We've done almost 100 episodes of this.
Yeah. We're closing in. This is episode 92, everybody.
Wow.
The patron of the day this week's secret criteria was the third person to have an even number of words in their comment. And we've definitely sat here and decided we are doing simpler criteria because the people who are there first do not tend to leave short comments. And there we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Funny.
Damn it, it's not even. So then, so we'll have a different criteria this time. But for now, we've got a show to do. And this will be the. Did you like
one's going to be good
at the beginning?
Yeah,
it's the good one. Like all the others were garbage, guys. I got to tell you, little trade secret. It's probably going to be very similar to the past episodes.
Trade secret.
But don't you go and share that, or we'll sue. That's insider trading. If you tell people. The market's on Kalshi right now. They're all betting on whether or not the line has a podcast. Whether this will be the good episode. God, I really hate the world we live in. That's a thing. These prediction market things that are emerging, just literally like the worst of. What if we took the problems with like gambling that we've already added to video games with the loot boxes and shit, and getting people mildly addicted to it, or just full on addicted to different forms of gambling? What if we took that and we put it on like everyday life? What if people started losing their livelihood over what color shirt somebody wears? That's what every day we get closer and closer to just that idiot. At this point, there are things that Idiocracy, we've done dumber than that movie. Should have said more dumb, but we've legitimately, like, there are things where it's like, haha, that would be dumb. And then it's literally like, bruh, the president once suggested people maybe consider bleaching their veins,
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
And then they did.
Hey,
let me ask you something. If you were to report on something, let's see what your instincts would be. I'm going to give you an idea. I'm going to give you like a story, and you tell me how you would report it. Okay. Let's say there was a drug, and if you have a debilitating disease where every time you take a step, all of your leg bones break. Okay. That's the disease you have. That's not even the story. Let's just assume everybody knows that this disease exists. You take a step, all of your leg bones break. And there's a medication you can take. And if you take that medication, your bones don't break. Now, scientists do a little bit of research and they go, hey, if you stop taking the drug, your bones break again. How would you report that story?
Am I reporting just on the scientist's new discovery?
Yeah. Well, the confirmation. I want to call it a discovery. It's almost kind of like, duh.
Right. So you could say like scientists confirm, like, I don't know. Scientists confirm, what's the leg breaking disease?
I don't know. Scuba.
Okay. Scientists confirm scuba medication ineffective without use.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Symptoms return. Yo. All right, let me ask you a question here. If I start, I'm going to read you some headlines, and you tell me what the impression you're getting from these headlines are. Diabetes patients who stop GLP-1 drugs increase their heart risks. Stopping GLP-1s increases heart risks.
Right. Sorry, go ahead.
Ending GLP-1 treatment increases cardiovascular risks. Health rounds. Diabetes patients who stop GLP-1 drugs increase their heart risks. Don't you feel like what you're hearing is there's a danger to stopping?
Yes.
And so don't stop them, because the basic, like, I'm trying to think of, it was kind of like that way. Doesn't it sound more like the title of the thing we said before was essentially, if the title read not what you said, but stopping scuba drug leads to shattered legs.
Right, exactly.
Leads to more shattered legs.
That is what it sounds like.
There's only one title here that's like a little bit more not sensationalist garbage bullshit. And by the way, just so you know, it's pretty much only right wing with a little bit of center people reporting this at all, because they can put those titles where people can be like, oh, I told you, because there are going to be people who just read that title and someone says GLP-1s, is like, if you ever get off them, your heart risk, they'll increase. You have to stay on them. Here's the actual like title that's way more truthful. Heart benefits fade after you stop GLP-1 drugs. Because the actual story, and this is what's driving me fucking crazy, because I've seen the story in a few places, went ahead and read it, was like, well, this title is misleading as fuck. So before you go out and you spread the misinformation, or just, just start being on the listen for it, on the listen and on the lookout for it, and making the corrections. To be clear, as you see this story, as you hear people say, like, well, before you go on GLP-1s, do know if you ever stop, it causes heart risk, stopping that drug. Nope. GLP-1s reduced heart risk, because realistically, because you lose weight, your height, your blood pressure gets better, your cholesterol gets better, your cardiovascular system improves. Literally, these fucking idiots, these absolute fucking morons are putting these titles up, basically just saying, like, you could even put like GLP-1s affect cardiovascular system the way you think they would if you stop
The way
them.
you think they would.
The way a child could guess. Like, I could go to a kid, hey, if I take a drug and taking it helps my heart, what do you reckon stopping it does? Probably halts your heart. Yeah, buddy. Kiddo.
That's really, well, but this is also like some of the worst media literacy, actually just literacy in general, that we've had in decades. And so, people are just...
That's what bums me out too. It's literally like the fact that you guys don't even, a lot of you don't even know to go and check past the headline for what the headline actually means.
Yeah. But you know what? I think part of it is also, we're in a pattern of consuming content so quickly, and the things that we're looking at are always clickbaity, sensationalized things, that because they're meant to get a reaction out of you, and then people stop at the reaction, which is not what you should be doing.
My problem is, like, you could have posted something like, new study reveals post GLP-1 effects. That's still kind of like clickbaity, like or scientists lay out what happens when you stop taking GLP-1s, where it's still like bringing you in, and people who are like, there are a lot of people who are anti GLP-1 kind of just cause they don't work for everybody. There are side effects. It's a medication, but GLP-1s are the most important drug we've invented like in a long time. It's going to like, once they actually become accessible to everybody. Bro, I straight up like went too far on a show recently.
Why?
About this. Somebody was like bringing it up, and I was like talking about medical care and like how bad capitalism is for medical care, and about how GLP-1s are the best like drug we have come up with for not just this. People are microdosing GLP-1s to get out of gambling addictions and shit like that. Like it weirdly, because it's a hormone that acts on satiation receptors essentially.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's crazy, like the benefits. And so these, and by the way, I'm not on them. And when I tried them for a little while, it could have been because it was compounded and they weren't as good, but maybe I would try again one day, or microdose. When I tried them for a while, when I got real big, it interfered and it was not compatible with my health conditions essentially. And I'm still here basically saying, probably because of the side effects, I probably won't ever be on them, can't be on them. Still, it's the most important drug that's like ever existed. Like the next drug that will be as important will be like cancer curing drugs. that aren't as harsh on you as chemo and shit. Anyway, so like we're talking and I'm like getting kind of emphatic about like, here's the problem. Capitalism does this with healthcare, this with the healthcare. And then I lay down a month of GLP-1s over $1,000, despite the fact that they have more than recouped their investment and it costs them $10, less than $10 per month.
Wow.
For to manufacture a month's dose. It's less than $10. You pay over $1,000 for these things. And so I was getting, and he was like, well, then what do you do? And I was like, you take them. You go to those companies and you take them. You take the patents. You take the formula. That one is so, imagine if we found out that there was a company hoarding a cancer curing drug. That's like a simple, you just take it monthly drug, or even a shot weekly and you just don't have cancer anymore.
Could you fucking imagine?
Back. The way, like, if they were like, okay, here's the price thing. This is what, you know, the cost is the cost. The people who can afford it can get it. The people who don't, we would literally be like, okay, it's ours now, though. And if they fought back, so this is where I went too far on the show. I was like, well, what would you do? And I was like, you take them. And if they try to stop you, you kill them. And I was like, and I'm not saying anybody should do that.
I feel like you said it and the whole room got quiet and you were like,
I'm already in a quiet room, but there was this big pause and I was like, for the record, I'm not suggesting the people who take them in this scenario, it should be the people. The government should seize those drugs. They are too important. They are hoarding essentially something heart disease is one of the #1 killers of people. And GLP-1s would reduce that by so fucking much. I'm not talking about GLP-1s like because we need to get everybody to like crack skinny or whatever. In fact, I think it should be balanced to where you only get to like not necessarily skinny. There's some amount of fat you need to keep on your body. It's good.
Totally.
You have to have stores. I like certain people's stores better than other people's, if you know what I'm saying. Some people have very well-placed stores.
And you're so right about that. I also, as I've gotten older, I'm starting to also recognize where where weight is going to continue to be important. Like Kevin is too skinny and he knows this. This is like an ongoing problem. Yeah, he's too skinny. He's skinny man, but it's, you know, whatever. We're figuring
it's like 90
out
degrees out and he's like, woo, it's chilly.
I know. And he's like, a little chill. No, he's just like, whatever.
Blanket. Do we have a space blanket?
Blankie. But he's too skinny and he knows this and we talk about it all the time, whatever. But
some people
part of the
are
reason
like genetically that way too.
He like he has a bunch of
bully him about how skinny he is.
No, he has a bunch of family members that are also really skinny, but then and that's, you know, I understand, but also as you get older, that like fat and muscle mass is going to be the thing that keeps you going. Like as your body ages, like you have to put muscle and you have to put fat on. Yeah. Otherwise, like, cause you see when people get old, they get really, really skinny and they lose their muscle mass and they lose their fat. If you're already started there, what are we going to do?
As a member of his family, as a relative, let me just say about our lankiness. Clearly, you haven't seen me in person yet.
I know,
but even when
I've seen full body pictures though. And that like the first time I ever saw like a full, there was one of you and Luthien that I saw. That was not that long ago.
I was pretty skinny in that moment. Yeah.
But but I remember the first time seeing you in like full body. I was like, wow, lanky.
There's them jeans. Yeah.
Lanky.
Even when I put on weight, it all only goes to my tummy and my tits and comes forward. I don't get wider. At all. So I literally just look like I'm growing like a barrel. This is why I say I look like a frog stood up.
Growing up.
I look like a frog stood up. Like I got the long ass legs. I have long
oh my God,
legs.
that's so funny.
And I got long arms and I can reach everything. I can reach
I can reach everything.
The trees in my neighborhood are free of cats because I can reach everything.
You can just like an apple.
Plug it down. They're like, who called the fire department? I'm like, guys.
Please.
We're fine.
You're like, don't make a big deal.
Yeah,
it's
everybody.
Fine.
Arms McGee has come round.
Arms McGee.
So I was going to say, here's what I know about our family lankiness. That dude could work out every day. He's not going to bulk up. He's going to get harder.
I know. Yeah.
His muscles will get harder and they'll, and if he works out too much, the fat will like strip away and he'll get that kind of like, so So have you ever seen the people who, when they kind of bulk up, you can see the individual strands within their muscles? They look like, you know what I'm talking about? Like his muscles are like straws stacked on each other.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm saying, be careful what you wish for. If you're trying to get a Captain America bod, you're about to get like.
No, I just want him to. I just want him to have like enough muscle mass and fat so that he has like the health and stamina to do all the things that he wants to do now and like moving forward. Like even because he's a touring musician, even when he was doing that more recently, like it took such a toll on his body. And I just kept thinking, I'm like, I don't think you have enough like energy in your body.
I bet, Alyssa, that this isn't the problem. You've told me, and listen, I'm not one to like shit on him for it. Okay. This is not a criticism, Kevin, as we are here diagnosing what you need to do for
I know, poor weariness. Kevin.
It's the candy. It's
oh my God.
Coke.
It's absolutely
100%. How many Cokes does he drink a day?
So it varies.
Sure.
But I would say between 1 and 3.
Okay. That's better than I thought I remembered you saying. I thought we were a case in a Coke. Or I thought we were doing a case a day or some shit.
No. I think that he's had times in his life where he's done that, but like we're not currently at case a day, and I don't think we'll ever go back there. But like 1 to 3 is still bad.
Is almost completely like nutrition, like way
100%.
How much fat, how much muscle.
Like but that's I think it's
your vitamins and all that shit.
Yeah, for sure. It's all related though, and I just want him to be okay long term. Anyway, we got into this conversation because we were talking about like you need to
bulk
have
up your lanky boy. That's what I'm advocating for.
But you do need to have some level of fat on your body. No one's advocating for heroin chic. Like that's not what it is. But it is like there's even a friend of mine who used to literally be like a fitness influencer. That's like where she got, hundreds of thousands of followers from. And then she just like at some point hit this wall and she gained a ton of weight. She couldn't figure out what the hell was happening. And she's like very well versed in fitness, knows how to like manipulate whatever with her body. And she's like, I can't hack it. I can't figure it out. And then she ended up going to a doctor, finding out she had, I guess, I don't know, maybe insulin resistance, whatever it was. Whatever it was, the result was she microdosed a GLP-1 and now she's like back to what she was before. Yeah. And so she says like, I don't advocate for people like
reduce it.
Yeah. So she said, I don't advocate for people just like taking it because they want to, but I do advocate people like going and being proactive with your health because it's a medication that has a purpose. And if that purpose is what you need fulfilled, then this is the one.
I mean, GLP-1s, they're stopping sleep apnea. They're stopping like it literally it's one of those things where it's like, we have to stop people being dicks to people who are thick.
Yeah.
We have to stop people being dicks to people who are fat and obesity even. You shouldn't be dicks to people, but we also can't pretend that obesity isn't like literally killing us.
Right.
Like it's literally the thing killing the most Americans. And so, anyway, so GLP-1s, if they don't give them to you, Jimmy Snow says, kill them. No, don't, don't. Hey guys.
Hey, don't.
Hey. Without the representation of the people, don't. Because executions are illegal in America. You know, the death penalty is legal. And I'm against the death penalty. But while we have it, I'm also against assault rifles. But guess what I have? So, while we got it, well, I'm just saying we're killing the wrong guys. That's all I'm saying. And I've always said that.
And I've
always said that.
I really have.
You've always said that. I know.
You know this about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. We got to take a break. Do an ad. I got to take my poo juice. I was trying to make poop. I was trying to make poop juice. Poo juice. But I got to tell you, it sounds anti-Semitic.
Oh no.
Yeah. I think I
didn't think that until you said it.
Yeah. I was like, I think
love that.
This is probably already like oh man, you missed it, by the way. We had a groiper raid yesterday.
What do you mean?
a groiper raid. We had people, the groipers trying to call in and dox and we figured out how to stop them. So they failed and got bored and left pretty quick. But yeah, they were trying to dox me. They were trying to dox one of the hosts from Takis.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did a great job. They found an old address of mine for the business, an old business address that basically we used to send mail through. Like,
wow.
Clap. Well done, guys. You did it. You did it. An old mailbox. You found it, guys. You did it.
That's so ridiculous. In moments like that,
what else do they have to do? It's just like,
I know.
This is their life.
And ultimately, flattered that you spent your time like that.
Yeah. You guys think about me a lot more than I think about you. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you fucking freak shows. Anyway.
We'll be right back. Patreon.com/calltheline. Patreon.com/calltheline. What if we did that for 2 minutes? That'd be really annoying.
I think people would like literally block us.
They'd be like, I think I'm done with this podcast.
I actually think I've hit my fucking limit. And I would understand.
But you should go and support us at patreon.com/calltheline. You get the ad-free show with the bonus show. What today's bonus show will be, we don't know, because Alyssa fell just short of finishing Under the Banner of Heaven. So we're not talking about that series. But we will probably next time be. And then the time after that, I think we're going to be talking about the Manosphere documentary from Louis Theroux. And, you know, we might pepper in some little things like, I don't know if you saw that one of the guys from that went on Piers Morgan and Piers like walked off, because these guys are terrible and they suck, but Piers is terrible and sucks too. So the guy basically did what Piers did, was like, what if I just figure out a way to personally attack you? And he literally just starts pulling up on his phone like things from Piers's wife's Instagram, because she makes a lot of jokes that she's like cheating on Piers with a pool boy or something on her Instagram and shit. And so then Piers rage quits off his own show. And I'm literally like, these are two people that I would not save. Like, wow. If Piers and that guy and a cat were all drowning in a pool and I had time to save all three, I'd go get lunch with the cat. You know I mean?
Get lunch with the cat.
It's like, Jesus Christ, you guys are terrible people. Anyway, that's the kind of wonderful content you can look forward to on the bonus show. That's a little snippet, a little preview. Over at patreon.com/calltheline, where you can support us in a way that's just so meaningful to us. We would just love you for it.
Yeah.
Where should they go?
We do. Patreon.com/calltheline.
And where shouldn't they go?
Anywhere Piers Morgan is.
Well, I was gonna say definitely not patreon.com/calltheline.
Is that what I said? Wait.
The beginning of the show. No, I said where should they go and then where shouldn't they go? Remember the beginning of the show? You did the...
Did I say... Wait, what did I say in the beginning of the show? Patreon.com/theline.
Yeah.
Right. That's not right. Yeah. Don't go there. Patreon.com/calltheline.
Stop bullying me.
Do you like me even?
I don't know. I'm going to make another second Patreon. But the only people with links to sign up for it are people who are signed up on the first Patreon. And it's going to be a secret Patreon. And the benefits you're going to get out of it are nothing. Patreon.com/calltheline. For the regular one where you do get benefits. Go and do it. Thank you. I think you saying that is overlapping with the intro, so everyone's going to hear it. But speaking of being so funny, do you know what some of the oldest written jokes are in like the world?
No.
So the oldest written joke we know right now is a Sumerian joke. And guess what kind of joke it is? It won't disappoint you. Nope, close. I would still call it male humor, though I like to believe that once upon a time it was more ubiquitous and that we just got sticks up our asses. And that's a little bit of a clue.
Oh, so is it like, wait, sticks up our asses? Is it like a religious joke?
If we had a stick in our ass, what could we no longer do?
Shit. It's a poop joke.
Close. So close, so close.
An anal sex joke?
No. You're closer with shit. What else do we eject from our butts?
What else do we... Poop?
No.
What else do you eject from your butt?
Oh my gosh. It's like the number one joke category there is. The first thing a child is going to laugh at.
Oh, fart.
It's a fart joke.
I was so confused. I was so worried. I was like, what are you talking about? What else comes out of your butt? I was so confused.
The oldest joke translates to roughly something which has never occurred since time immemorial. A young woman did not fart in her husband's lap. Essentially saying that all young women fart in their husband's laps. That's the oldest joke.
And why would we do that?
Why do you fart in our laps? Why?
Warmth?
I don't know.
If I'm gassy and we're going to bed, I'm like, I'm facing the guns the other way. Ow. Out of respect.
I think it's to be funny. I think that it's like
I see.
Time in memoriam. Girls think it's funny too. Now listen, I don't know what the ages also are. Ancient civilization. Let's not look into it too much. Anyway, the oldest joke that's a bar walk in a bar joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 4,000 years old, also Sumerian. And here's the joke. I want to see if you get it. A dog walks into a bar and says, "I cannot see a thing. I'll open this one."
Cannot see a thing. I'll open this one. A dog?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
A dog walks into a bar and says, "I cannot see a thing. I'll open this one."
I don't get it. What are we talking about?
So here's the thing. If you did get it and you explained it, you'd get some kind of prize because it is universally understood to be a joke that we don't get. That there's something about ancient Sumerian culture that joke made sense to them. It's essentially an inside joke.
Wow.
Like if somebody in the future only found a reference to Skibbity with no context, then if they didn't have the context, they wouldn't know that it's actually still not funny with the context. They wouldn't know that.
Right.
They would be like, oh, this is some inside joke kind of thing. And so that joke is not understood. There are different theories on it. Some people think it's a tavern or a brothel joke. They think that there's something about opening their eyes or something.
The only thing I can think of is walking into a bar, like a physical bar, or a bar is not what we think a bar is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in one way or another.
It could be, except for that Sumerian didn't have the word bar as bar.
Right.
Tavern,
okay. So it was something else.
Yeah. That's it's totally different language. Definitely not. but I like it. Walks into a tavern, like they walked into their tavern and no longer can see a thing because they hit their, I don't know, but look, here's the deal.
Beats
no one
me.
knows.
We're not going to solve it.
Knows.
Not today.
I don't
never
think
solved a damn thing on this podcast. We're not starting today.
Yeah.
We're not starting today.
So
anyway, shall we talk about world peace?
I'll read it again. I'm going to put it in the comments, guys. You tell us what you think the joke means. I'll probably switch the word bar to tavern because that's probably the better interpretation so that no other people think what if they meant a metal bar? Remember, Sumerian's a different language. It translates to roughly that's the fart joke. A dog walks into a tavern and says, "I cannot see a thing. I'll open this one." So, just so you all know, that's the oldest walk into a bar joke.
Like to see what you come up with.
They had dogs, and that they're like, we chill with these dogs. They're walking in our bars.
Yeah, well, I mean, dogs have always been bopping around. People have had dogs.
Yeah, well, people made dogs, so not always. Isn't it 10,000 years ago?
Made dogs? Mm-hmm. Like bred them?
Kind of, yeah. Essentially, so there's natural selection and there's artificial selection. And artificial selection is when you do purposefully, you select for, I'm going to breed these puppies because they have some trait that I want. Yeah. I'm going to try and get that trait out. And so over the course of several thousand years, it started off likely with something like wolves who would come nearby and we'd throw them meat from our whatever, we'd throw them food. And they would stay nearby and they'd probably protect us from other predators. And we had a distance companionship. And then over generations of that happening, the wolves become more friendly. And the wolves that are more friendly are surviving better than the wolves that are less friendly. And so at first it starts with a natural selection, but then the dogs are with us and they're hanging out with us. And we're purposely breeding the dogs that are the dogs we like, to get more of those dogs we like. And so that is how wolves turned into chihuahuas, because it's somewhere along the line someone was like, what if we just keep that head huge but we just make the body nonsense? Yeah.
My Bonnie.
I know, it's not great for them though. Did you ever imagine like what it would be if you woke up as a chihuahua? I think you'd just scream. You'd be like,
I would be so fucking mad. But that's why when chihuahuas are mean, I'm like, well, yeah, period. I would also be fucking pissed if I woke up and I was 8 pounds.
The funny thing
full
is
grown.
that it's not unlikely that like they're mean just because they can be, because no one's scared of them. So we didn't bother to breed it out of them, because it's like, what are you gonna do with that? Like it wasn't a threat to deselect for.
Well, I also think with any small dog, them not being so nice is because people just like pick them up and like don't really respect their space and like get in their face because they know that they're like relatively harmless. Like you wouldn't treat a pit bull the way you treat chihuahua, because I love pit bulls. Well, I love pit bulls, and I think that they're like giant, big, mushy babies. But like except based on the way that, well, right. But based on like the way that like societally, there's based on how we treat these dogs.
Yeah.
On average.
I don't know what you're talking about. I had a German Shepherd. Those are the attack dogs. Those guys can be monsters, but they're also lovely. And I picked that thing up. I put it on my shoulders.
Yeah. I know.
Carried it around like a baby.
I know, but like if you walk down the street with a pit bull and you walk down the street with a chihuahua, people will act differently, which is unfortunate and also stupid, because you know, it doesn't really work that way. And I know many a chihuahua who are far more mean than pit bulls I've met.
Yeah, right. So that's true. But it also does work that way. If you asked me, if you said you have 10 angry chihuahuas behind that door and you have 1 angry pit bull behind that door.
Yeah, you'd go for the chihuahua.
Pit bulls aren't bad, but the pit bulls that are bad they're the way their jaws lock and shit, like being afraid of, kind of like being afraid of being attacked by a bear. Bears are lovely. Bears are lovely creatures. They're sweet. They are, strangely, a lot of them actually are pretty domesticatable, but they're so huge that when the slip up happens, it's like, he just meant to tell you to fuck off, but you're dead. Right. So it's kind of like, on the one hand, people just shouldn't be familiar with a dog that isn't there. I totally agree with that. But on the other hand, it also does work that way. I can defeat a large number of chihuahuas in combat. I am actively scared of a pit bull being mad at me.
And I could like talk about this forever because I think it's so interesting. But the other thing too is people who own pit bulls, I think, and I'm in LA, so I'm in a place where like people are very into dogs, and also a lot of people here have pit bulls. They're much more likely to train their pit bull because they know the risks are high. Like they know if a pit bull freaks out and even like minorly injures somebody, they're getting put down. Like that's it. It's curtains.
I wish that was a universal thing. You're saying like where you are, but like the number of times
I wish it was universal for sure.
You have off leash, intact,
like that's crazy.
Just walking around doing whatever they want in Texas.
Yeah, that's just intact, like not.
I mean, pit bulls shouldn't. You get rid of your dog's balls, guys. Most dogs shouldn't have balls. Most dogs shouldn't be bred. You shouldn't be breeding. It shouldn't be.
There's so many. There's so many. Yeah, anyways, meanwhile, there's chihuahuas who are like fucking evil, and people don't get them trained.
For sure, but like.
They also can't do the same.
That are evil, and I'm just not bothered. You know, I'm not worried about an evil moth, but evil bee, for sure. But only if there's a lot of them.
But I do feel like
how, like the people will be like, yeah, but technically they come from blah 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 blah. But the reason why really we've made killer bees, like we settled on the name for them being Africanized, is definitely racist. You know what I'm saying?
No. Explain this to me. I don't know anything about killer bees.
It's called an Africanized honeybee.
Oh,
that's
how
like
the hell did that
Like
happen?
species name, right? Because they're from. So they're gonna say no. It's because they're from Africa, but it's literally like my bitches. How often is that how we're naming things? It's like when people wanted to call COVID the China virus, and it's literally like,
oh my God,
that's not a thing we do, guys. That's not a thing. We don't. call viruses after where they're from. Often, anyway. And then like, what about the Spanish flu? And it's like, well, if that one was rooted in ginormous bigotry so you could use it to shit on an entire group of people, you definitely should have stopped calling them that. Like, you fucking idiot. Like, even if you're right, and they aren't, but even if you were right about that, like, counterpoint, like, yeah, then don't do that, you fucking idiots. And these days, if the Spanish flu reemerged, you try to rebrand it to the Mexican flu, even if it came from fucking Portugal, because you guys don't get shit. You don't understand. Yeah. Anyway, dog walks into a bar and he says, I cannot see a thing. I'll open this one. It's hilarious. It's a really good thing.
Have you seen, speaking of the COVID and naming and whatever, have you seen, I feel like we talked about this a really long time ago when they did it, but how if you go to like the COVID-19 page on the White House.
White House is crazy.
Yeah.
It probably calls it the China virus on there.
I think it does. There's a whole thing about like
those whole things make sense if you just read them in his voice, like those pages.
Yeah.
If you read them in his voice, you're like, bruh, this is
it does frighten me every now and then when you meet, like, when you know someone who is like relatively reasonable and then they just say some crazy shit like, well, obviously China manufactured that virus. And I'm like,
bro, this is my problem too. So the White House page just calls it lab leak, the true origins of COVID-19. And this is the sad thing where it's literally like, guys, we way overcorrected. It is fine to be like, yo, I don't know, let's not eliminate it as a possibility.
Of course.
But they're trying to like say, nope, that is definitely
with
what it is.
Certainty.
And you have researchers and intelligence who are saying like, one, it probably isn't it alone. And two, we can't eliminate the possibility. I get why it's suspicious, but then there are times where it's like, there's a counter to it too. Like a COVID virus breaks out near, like very close to a COVID Wuhan Institute of Virology where they study COVID. Of course that's suspicious, but also guys, like, I remember Jon Stewart made the metaphor and I thought it was a good one at first. And it still is, but then you have to think about the inverse. Like he was saying, like, if suddenly someone said there was an outbreak of chocolatey goodness in Hershey, Pennsylvania, nobody's going to be like, don't even consider whether or not it came from the factory. But the metaphor would be like, and that's true, you shouldn't say don't even consider and don't look into it. But the metaphor too would be like, if chocolatey goodness, did they put the factory there because that's where the chocolatey goodness is? Because that's where they can get lots of chocolate. And so that's part of the whole thing is that the access and all that sort of shit. And so it is a full-on crazy conspiracy website that they have put on there. It is undoubtedly the case that it shouldn't be eliminated as a possibility. Keep in mind that most of the conspiracy theorists who want to say like it did originate in the lab aren't just trying to say like an incidental or accidental leak happened. They want it to be an intentional attack.
Yes.
Also.
Yes.
And so I'm just it's sad when there's probably a core truth we should have a good discussion about, but it's being ruined by conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, and it's also such a sign of a lack of intelligence. And I don't want to sound condescending, but it is like a lack of intelligence for you to just, not you, the royal you, to accept something as fact when you have no reason to believe that that's the case. Like to ignore the nuance that could exist there and just be like, well, this is the easiest answer and that makes most sense to me, and just leave it there is just like dumb idiot behavior. Like, you're better than that. Figure it out.
Yep. Yeah, by the way, just so everybody knows, in June 2025, the WHO still says that the weight of available evidence suggests zoonotic spillover, either directly from bats or an intermediate host. That is still what is the most well-supported hypothesis. Yeah. Without saying we're not gonna, without getting rid of the like possibility.
Yeah. I kind of don't care where it came from as much. I care in general, but I don't care as much as I do that the reason we had as many people get sick and die in this country is because people wouldn't fucking listen. And there was misinformation spread about.
The point too.
That's the point.
Literally, if we just talk about whether it came from China or not, we're not going to talk about how badly Donald Trump flubbed it.
Right. Exactly.
Way more people died than needed to die.
Yes. If let's say worst case scenario, this was manufactured, it was made with the purpose of, I don't know, crashing the economy or whatever. And the US was able to lock it down and actually eliminate the virus in like a month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we did it. Amazing. No, instead it took 2 fucking years and it still is circulating.
And people are still trying to rewrite as though the way that people are like, oh yeah, you still think that. And yet you guys were the ones saying mask up. And now we know that was wrong, except we don't. Masks were effective. And then well, then why did Fauci lie about them? He didn't. He literally said they right now, while they're in short supply, need to be reserved for medical professionals. That basically through social distancing, we can accomplish most of that effect. Our first responders can't.
Yeah, exactly. I also think that those people can have a little bit of, again, it's like the death of nuance has really fucked us all. Well, maybe not all of us, a lot of us. Yeah, because even if that were the case, that now we know that the masks were actually not as effective as we thought they were. The point was, at the time, that was the best information that we had. So why did you not fucking follow it?
But also the masks never were not as good. It was literally, you might have a mask that's not as good. You might have there were mistakes made along the way where it was like, look, a cloth mask will get you a little bit, but really everyone needs to be in an N95 mask. Like that's the one you need. And you need to change them periodically. You can't just keep using the same one over and over and over again.
But it's more frustrating to me because it just feels like we're constantly missing the point. Science will change, and that doesn't mean that they were lying the first time, even though in this case, this does not apply in this case because the masks were effective. Science will change. The point is that they're constantly looking for the truth. And so they will always present the best information that they can at that moment to you.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it was a new virus. It was literally, we didn't know for sure at first. And there were things that were wrong that wasn't a lie for them to suggest. Cause it's like, hey guys, right now, we don't know what the most effective way it spreads is. So here's the whole list of things in case it does last on surfaces. Here's how to sanitize surface. Guys, we were washing our groceries. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And you didn't apparently need to. You weren't at high risk of contact transfer. But you don't know that until you know that. And in the meantime, until you know that, how long do you guys think these things take? You can just put it in a lab and there's a special thing you put it under and you're like, oh, I see it has legs for grabbing groceries. It takes
for grabbing groceries.
You have to fucking figure it out how it works.
Yeah. So, anyway, I don't know how we got on this, but
people are dumb. Misinformation. You brought up the website.
Oh yeah, the COVID website. Yeah. Should we talk about other news when we come back? We should do another
break and then we'll come back in. We've got actually a few more things on the developing Iran thing. I got some Jehovah's Witness stuff I want to talk about, some meta stuff I want to talk about. And that'll be what we wrap up the show with. And I didn't find the break in, so the music's not starting until now. Do you have other things you wanted to bring up?
Actually, yes, but before I say what it is, what
a teaser.
Let me just,
Y'all getting that tease today.
Yeah, girl.
Teases, daddy.
You know what I think?
I hated that.
You know about the 13-year-old, the statement from the 13-year-old that they've now confirmed to be one of the more, if not most, verifiable.
We talked about it a little bit. That it's there's several details from it and several other assailants that are confirmed correct, and she has accusations about Donald Trump specifically.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll maybe start with. Maybe we'll start somewhere else when we come back. We'll be right back. There are some things you should do. Did you know? It'd be weird if you didn't, but the line has a podcast, but it also has call-in shows on the channel called The Line and a channel called Jimmy Snow and The Line. And there are new shows coming soon. And a lot of people don't even know that they haven't clicked the subscribe button. So on this channel, on that channel, on all the channels, y'all got to go and hit the subscribe. Maybe go and find a recent episode you like. Have a listen for at least 30 minutes or something like that. It's really great if you keep our watch time up. That's the thing that helps us. And you can click you can leave a comment, you can participate, do all those sweet things that the algorithm just likes so much. Again, you can find that over on YouTube at The Line, Jimmy Snow and The Line. The Line Clips is a thing, and very soon we'll have another channel being added, as well as some additional clip channels being added for some of the specific. I gotta tell y'all, did you know that there's a Forrest Valkai line clips coming? And you're not gonna want to miss that. So you're gonna have to hit subscribe all over the place. Do it, please. And think about getting some merch at linemerch.com. You can't buy the merch that I'm wearing right now. It was a limited time. And if you're sad about it, well,
you should stay up to
Should
date.
have done it. I should have worn my.
You learned your lesson.
I got a new white and blue. I like my pink and blue, but I got a white and blue. Don't apologize to him shirt too. Go get you your don't apologize to him sweater. Over
I need to get another one.
No, linemerch.com. Those are so nice. You
they are really nice
for the California heat wave weather. So,
that's what I'm saying.
They're pretty good. YouTube, The Line, probably Instagram soon. The Line is a podcast. Subscribe, leave comments, share clips, talk about it, tell people about it. Do it. Just do it. Ugh, fuck, we're getting sued by Nike. Just gotta see some desist.
Oh no.
Just do it. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's you know what? I never mentioned earlier. It's Friday, March 20th.
Oh my God.
March 20th.
Oops.
Blaze it. Not quite blaze it yet. Not quite. We're a month off.
Not quite.
From a date that the rad people know as for weed and the less rad people know for it being Hitler's birthday.
Oh,
so weird
God.
we line those two up together.
Yeah, not so good.
He seems like the man least likely to have ever achieved a weed chill.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Can I say some stupid news, but I think is actually kind of interesting?
Yeah.
Do you know that the Bachelorette canceled their season?
Yeah, I did.
And the woman who was the woman who was supposed to be doing it. It was one of the Mormon wives.
Yeah. What's her name?
Taylor
something.
Something.
Yeah.
Taylor. Gosh. Taylor something Paul. Taylor Frankie Paul. So it was a domestic violence. I watched the fucking clip.
There was a video of her beating the shit out of her boyfriend.
With her child present. She picked up a chair and she threw it.
Yeah.
She threw, I think, a stool 2 or 3 times. And one of them fully broke and a part of it hit her daughter and you could hear her daughter crying. It's heartbreaking.
You know what I find strange is there are people who are still lining up with who are I don't know, even a creator who I like being we do need to know more and we probably shouldn't be talking about it this much. And it's kind of like
what else do we need to know?
I think it's the theory that she might not be the primary abuser, that this might be reactive abuse. And I just kind of feel like, sure, whatever. But this is one of those places where it's hard not to be like, this seems like a double standard. This seems
I agree. I also think that I'm pretty certain she caught a charge for that.
Right. It was a lot of abuse.
She already has a domestic violence charge.
I've seen these things pop up too, where sometimes people are like, oh, the person was emotionally abusive and she was physically abusive. And so we shouldn't. And yeah, of course, we should address the fact that sometimes those videos, the boyfriend's being emotionally abusive before. But I swear, you're always raised, or not always, but society does at least tell everyone you don't get to breach other types of abuse with physical. Physical abuse is and it doesn't mean that there are people I've dated where I was like, I kind of wish you would have only physically abused me. I wish I would have traded it for emotional abuse. But it's kind of one of those things where it's I don't know why we're lessening. If there's good reason to believe that other stuff exists, have that stuff come out and, do whatever you do appropriate for those situations too.
Sure.
But I don't know, the instinct to minimize and be but have we considered that this person who is unhinged throwing a chair near their child is a person who, first of all, appears to be too emotionally volatile and dangerous to be around her child. Yeah, for sure. With all the other stuff, look into it. But the instinct of like, a woman's being physically abusive, let's immediately see if we can pin this on the guy is kind of crazy to me.
She also was charged for the incident that's in that video. Like, this is a charge that she caught in 2023. So we're just now seeing it. And I think that it's like adding a new lens to what that was. And when she was charged in 2023, she was charged with assault, criminal mischief, and domestic violence in the presence of a child.
Yeah.
Huh? How did she even get the crazy thing is they also filmed the whole season of The Bachelorette. So they have a whole season.
That's why it's the seasons can't. I was wondering,
and they're just not going to air it
and not just do a new person. Like, just do a new. That's so interesting.
Yeah, it might be that they're like 3/4 of the way through or something, but the majority of the season by this time is already filmed.
I also think that if we start a culture of when we see physical abuse, we start asking more questions about basically if the other person caused it. If that's the direction we go, I think that sounds like a short-term benefit for moving the cause to men, but I actually think men will benefit in the long term.
But
it'll literally be like, oh, that's on the table now? Okay, in that case, I'm a man who does beat women, and now I've been documenting all the emotional abuse I'm getting, and so now we're going to say that my physical abuse is fine, right? Like that it's not really my fault. I was goaded into it.
Well, what I think is also interesting about this situation is that we had, like, she was charged. She was charged with those things. If it was purely self-defense, I don't know that she would have gotten all those same charges.
The people I'm saying, I don't think are saying self-defense. I think they're saying, like, there could have been other physical abuse that he does sometimes, or he might be emotionally abusive and caused her to resort, like the way people have reactive abuse. And essentially, like, she lashed out at his emotion and immediately just like jump into trying to figure out a way that it's his fault in the first place, which is kind of crazy.
Right. Yeah. But I think that I don't know if he had gotten any charge associated with that, but they
charge
went
for emotional abuse
through. There would or would not be.
Wouldn't. We don't charge people for emotionally abusing people.
Yeah. Like, but that's what I'm saying. It's like the answer to emotional abuse.
Yeah.
The answer to emotional abuse is not throwing multiple pieces of furniture at this person in front of your child.
Yeah.
So like, the way, what's confusing
passes that along. You model that for a child.
Exactly.
And then wonder why your child can't emotionally regulate when he's older or she's older.
Right. It's also like truly heartbreaking to hear the kid. Anytime a kid cries, it like literally rips my heart out. So I hated that. But it also, this is a unique situation where it's not like we're seeing the video and then we're like, well, we have to get to the bottom of this. We already got to the bottom of what happened. Yeah. We already got to the bottom because she was literally charged with a crime, with multiple charges. But they're just
still going to say you don't know what happened before that, and maybe it was still his fault.
I guess, but it's just like
technically that's true. But the instinct to jump to that is always going to be wild to me. Where it's literally like there's a large group of people. There's a lot of people who, not to sound like a men's rights activist, I understand that it's starting to sound like it, but it's kind of like having this category of when abuse is obvious, present. We see it, that there are some people when we see it from, they're guilty until proven innocent. And then when we see it with somebody else, immediately we go to like, oh, shouldn't we consider whether the guy's the one who's guilty here? Shouldn't we consider whether it's his fault? She's this way. She's acting this way. And I will say at the level of emotional nonsense that like it was the mental state that you see her in, it's hard to conceptualize anything warranting that level of abuse in return. So I know. It's also, it seems like it would have been a part of her defense if there was physical abuse from him present.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, this is not a situation where it's like, we're going in blind and we have to figure it out. They already had an entire trial.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of confused as to how the Bachelorette even wanted
or something.
I'm not sure, but I think she was on probation, if I can remember correctly. But this is like, how did the Bachelorette even get her this far in the process with a DV charge?
Yeah.
Someone didn't do their homework, I guess. I don't fucking know. But that was like a headline.
Allegedly, just looking up quickly, she's responded that she's going to be sharing her story soon, and that the footage is being presented without context. And it's going to be one of those things where it's like, oof, oof, oof. Where obviously everybody's going to pay attention to what she says. I'm not that into this kind of news. Like this kind of just because it was popular on Reddit. And realistically, I think the Bachelorette shouldn't exist. I think it was horrible before this.
Yeah.
But
it's a crazy concept. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm curious to see how it unfolds. Mostly because it's a conversation about DV, and it's a woman who is inflicting the domestic violence that we see.
You're right.
And it's just interesting. Anyway.
Right.
What else do we want to talk about?
You had news you said you were waiting until we got back for, right?
Oh, yes. Well, yeah, I guess, were we going to talk about how there is a statement from a 13-year-old that...
Yeah. Basically, if you guys have heard the story of the 13-year-old who said she got beat by Donald Trump after he put her head down to his dick, told her he was going to show her how little girls are supposed to behave, and then he beat her because he bit his dick. Her quote was "bit the shit out of it." Well, she is one of the victims who a lot of like other things she had said had been confirmed, and a lot of that report of those accusations, with all these people saying he's nowhere in there, and that they were redacting and trying to suppress that information from coming out, and they're still holding back. But they knew that these accounts existed, so we know this is the stuff that when they've been told they're not supposed to protect Donald Trump in the law, they have been. So not only is it one that there's lots of good reasons to go, she's been real reliable with her other shit, so this doesn't seem, why wouldn't she be here? There's not only that, but there's clearly an active campaign. There was an active campaign to try and keep you, and again, still details of it and documents from it, trying to keep you from ever finding out about it. It was against their best wishes. Unfortunately, right now, we're in a situation with the war in Iran where this has been the ultimate distraction from the Epstein files, and we really need a reemergence. Even as Iran is happening, we got to talk out against it. The Epstein files is just taking such a fucking backseat right now, and it's needs crazy to make a massive, massive return. One wonders if they're waiting until if they're kind of compiling things, and then they're going to do a big old put the Epstein files back in the like a big old dump at some point. The opposition, not the Republicans. As we get a little closer to the midterms, so that people can run a little harder on, let's go ahead and impeach.
That's not a bad idea. People have the memory and attention span of goldfish these days, so that's not a bad strategy.
And sometimes even that's not good enough. I mean, remember that the Hillary's emails thing dropped. Was it before or after the grab him by the pussy was really close to the election, and he still got elected. People are just like, yeah, but it wasn't as interesting.
Crazy.
And now the FBI has announced that they're reopening the investigation into her emails. Not that they've come to any conclusion, which they end up then closing very quickly and be like, yep, turns out there was nothing new. And that was the sexy thing that changed people's vote. And it's literally like, bruh.
I thought you said that they reopened the investigation now. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, I'm sure they have 10 or 11 times since Trump got back in.
I remember the other thing that I wanted to talk about today.
The wrong name earlier, by the way. I was saying I could have sworn her name was Dakota, but you said something else for the Bachelorette.
No, Taylor Frankie Paul is the girl. Dakota is her ex.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Dakota is a boy, and he's the ex.
Maybe I was misunderstanding that post that I saw earlier. Maybe they were defending Dakota. I don't know then. But I know I've seen other people literally saying, and in fact, and it's not just this, anytime you see domestic violence of a woman versus a man, the first thing is always, well, what was he doing to earn it? How did he earn it? Like,
right.
That kind of shit. Yeah. It's sad. Bums me out.
There was another thing that I wanted to talk about, which was, there was a reported list of what the Department of Defense spent $94 billion on. Yeah. And so this This is a report by the watchdog group Open the Books. So I don't know how reliable that is. I'll be perfectly honest. But according to them, the Pentagon spent $225 million on furniture, $12,540 on 3-tier fruit baskets, $5.3 million on Apple devices, $1.8 million on musical instruments, $6.9 million in total on lobster tails, and $2 million on Alaskan king crab. $15.1 million on ribeye steak, $124,000 for new ice cream machines, $1 million on salmon, 272 orders of donuts for $139,224, and $26,000 on sushi prep tables in September alone.
Yeah, so there's a funny thing here where I'm like, if you guys took care of your veterans, I wouldn't care that much about it. Because what they're going to say is basically they knew they were going to war, as they have been. And they put on like special events and dinners for the morale of the troops and all that sort of shit. And I'm literally sitting here like, that kind of shit doesn't bother me that much. Some of the furniture shit is obviously dumb, and the fact that they get these lavish offices or like Krusty Gnome getting to have basically private jet treatment, all that kind of shit. Clearly, there's tons of wasteful spending from the people who put Doge into place. But as far as like buying a shit ton of lobster and steaks and stuff for people that you're like, by the way, next week we're gonna go ask you to potentially go die. That I don't care as much about, except for that. They can find all this money for the shit they don't need. They can find all this money for the lavish things. And then when the veterans come home, they're homeless. And when the veterans come home, they have inadequate health care. They have inadequate mental health care. They're committing suicide like crazy. Like, you guys don't support your veterans, but you want to be the cool guys who like, but look, we got our soldiers lobster. I don't know. I think they could use the health care better more. The mental health care especially. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. No, those reports, I know you were saying you weren't sure about the source, but they've been confirmed by other outlets. And I think that I think Pete has been up there. He's like, do you think I'm not going to buy our soldiers lobsters when they're putting their lives on the line? And they get to like, piss us off. And then we look like the assholes for being like, why are you wasting money on this shit? And he's only going to address the lobsters, which again, like most people aren't actually going to be upset about active duty military getting like a special lobster thing, even if it costs a lot of money to get all of them. It's the Coco Bolo desk Saul Goodman shit where it's literally like, how do you not just need a fucking like table with some drawers, my guy? How do you need these fancy ass chairs? How do you need
I got a nice desk from Wayfair for $150.
And when it comes to furnishing places, supposedly Donald Trump can get private donors to pay for all that shit. So why don't you go to him? Why are you taking taxpayer money and once again not delivering health care? My guys.
Yeah. I think that for people who look at these numbers and don't really let it sink in that that's your money, that you are paying for that when you now in a month or whatever, your taxes have their there's the deadline for taxes. That money is going to these places and not where it should be, which is veterans who are on the street, veterans who don't have health care, veterans who are basically sent off to risk their lives and then come home and told to fuck off.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I don't think the military is a terrible thing in the first place, and they create a lot of radical Republican assholes as well. The culture there is terribly toxically masculine. So I also don't just like the soldiers as individuals most of the time, though there are lots of awesome veterans. They basically from the ground up, the whole military thing sucks. And we create shitty people who then we make them feel like it's gay if they ask for help. You're gay. You need help to not kill yourself? You're fucking gay.
Insane.
Gay. And then they don't. And then they kill themselves. And that's the world we live in. Anyway, we've got to get a little bit of extra after that bleak note, a little bit of other quick news before we switch over to the bonus show here for the patrons over at patreon.com/calltheline. I'm sure we'll be talking about it a lot more next week because it's looking like the U.S. is preparing for a ground incursion, not an excursion, Mr. President. Jesus Christ, the guy keeps saying excursion when he means incursion. And he sounds like he's like, we're going on a vacation to Iran. We're doing a nice little excursion to Iran. It's looking more and more like boots on the ground. We already have 2,500 Marines in the area. Appears that we have another 2,500 on the way. 3 warships on the way. And I think this time next week, we'll probably be talking about the boots on the ground. Remember, the reason to vote for Donald Trump is he's not going to put many more of our soldiers in harm's way. And in this case, it's not even in harm's way for the benefit of America. It's in harm's way for the benefit of Israel. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing, guys. And this is why that dude quit. Literally, the head counterterrorism dude this last week said, yeah, the Iran thing's a bullshit thing. We're doing it because of the Israel lobby. That's why he quit. Fucking huge Trump guy. White supremacist too. So some of that might be not just anti-Zionism, but anti-Semitism. Either way, he was the head of that intelligence agency saying that the threat of a nuclear armed Iran happening soon wasn't true. Other quick news, Meta is apparently going to be policing Facebook and Instagram. They are about to deploy AI as the first line of defense. So when's that ever gone wrong? I look over at Alyssa, who has recently been the victim of YouTube's AI screeners and is still trying to fight that battle.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, who famously don't actually allow users to get to a manual reviewer to talk to somebody when something does go wrong, is now going to deploy less humans in the background and more AI to lower their costs. But they are saying that it does detect twice as much sexual solicitation and reduces errors by 60%. So, if you saw a reduction of harm content it's hard to, if the AI successfully removes a lot of that harm content, it would be hard to even be upset unless one is the victim of the over policing AI and losing their shit. Otherwise it's kind of like, God, I think Facebook and Instagram are the worst fucking things for humans. And so anything that can help, I don't know, it's hard to not be a little bit cool with it. And also this is going to suck. Now, if they could actually tweak these AIs to stop delivering eating disorder content to little fucking girls.
Imagine
we still haven't figured that shit out. Bro, I don't know. That'd be tight. That'd be tight as hell. And then last thing I have that I want to talk about this more. Maybe we'll bring it up in the bonus show, but maybe we should talk about it with Owen. The Jehovah's Witnesses have eased their blood transfusion policy. Now you are allowed to store your own blood for future transfusions if you need it. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, first of all, you just need to, the scripture is about not eating blood. And that's why you're not allowed to get blood transfusions. Right. Yeah. There's a scripture in the Bible that you shouldn't eat blood, a human blood.
Okay.
And that's why Jehovah's Witnesses don't allow blood transfusions. The loophole actually doesn't make any sense. You laugh. You don't know how dark this is, just so you know.
Okay, well, the last
many people
episode
have died who are Jehovah's Witnesses because not only did they go to the hospital, some of them denied or said no, don't give me blood transfusions. But in other cases, the church sends people to make sure you don't get them.
What the also, I can't understand why eating blood is being conflated with getting a blood transfusion in a medical setting.
Consuming blood. That's
what
the dumb
the
thing.
Fuck?
That's the dumb thing. So it'll be interesting to hear Owen's take on this. Maybe we grab Owen for one of these things at some point. But that's all the news I have for you. It really just seems fucked up. But then again, all these religions are also trying to stop women from getting healthcare for their vaginas. It's
begonias.
Yeah. How do you pronounce it? Oh, is it begonia?
Begonias.
Begonias from Balenciagas. I don't know. What are you gonna do with the motor show? Okay.
I don't know.
Now.
Some booger sugar.
I got a long pinky. Not today. No, this pinky nail's kind of long, but so are the rest on that hand. My hands, at some point, something happened where I cut. They're not even. I always cut. I cut them at different times. I cut them when the individual hand gets too long, and they don't do it at the same pace.
That's so funny.
So right now, I have a slight nail that exists on this hand.
Yeah, sure.
And then I have no nails because I recently cut them on this hand, and so
that is so funny.
Going on. weird thing going on. Anyway, look forward to great content like that in the bonus show. We'll see you over there. Those of you get to at patreon.com/calltheline. That's the show.
Bye.
Sorry.